Ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and he You think, Sarah, this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
A couple of questions. So. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening? Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say that basically fight for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.
How's everybody doing? God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. Thank you so much for joining in. Share this video out. Please share this video, as it is really important for you guys to understand what is really happening in our borders and what is really happening with this massive insecurity in our borders. It's not only the immigration influx that is affecting our borders, but also it is the enormous cartel and organized crime that has taken over our country of Mexico, and that now it is affecting the borders, and ultimately now you have some control on the other side of the border of the United States of America. It is unbelievable what is happening. Now, we have had a special guest before I go. We're live at Facebook and we're live at YouTube. If people want to, share this video, let's break the algorithms and let's like this video and let's share this video so we can start, this live feed, and we can get more viewers on the live feed. So thank you so much for sharing. Now, we have had a guest before right here at our platform, and we have introduced him more than a couple of times. He is an ex-decorated ICE agent, honored by multiple agencies, law enforcement, and also he is an ex-ICE agent. He has a book that his name is Agent Under Fire. His name is Victor Avila. He's an ex-ICE agent. We are awaiting for him to log in right now so he can come and talk to us a little bit about this situation, which is, it's just, for me, it is crazy. For me, it is the way that this Biden administration, it is taking over the border situation. It is like a joke. Really, they are completely incompetent to what is really happening. They're completely incompetent to what is they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're changing policies back and forth now. Joe Biden has said, I'm changing the policy to say, I'm going to welcome a lot, children now, and now I'm going to change the policy to this, and I'm going to change the policy to that. It is just unbelievable what every single policy that they have changed. And the insecurity that is occurring, as my partner, colleague Anthony Agüero was over there in Acuña, that is Ciudad Acuña in Piedras Negras, Coahuila. And that particular border, my God, people, how open it is. And it is not only that, for people that are watching, it is how the organized crime, El Cartel, now they have taken over not only the part of Mexico that is an absolute, obvious thing that everybody knows that, but ultimately they have taken over the other side of the wall, the other side of the border, that is the United States of America. They have control now. And the organized crime has control over the Border Patrol now. Let me specify what I mean. They have control of them because they're just going to process them. They are not going to arrest no smuggler. They are not going to arrest no trafficker. They are not going to arrest no child trafficker or else. This is the number one problem that is occurring in our borders. Let me welcome, ex-retired ICE agent right here, Victor Avila, as we are going to discuss the article that it was published by the Daily Wire. As we know, if you're going to attack the problem needs to be attacked himself where it is the problem. You're not going to go to another border to make it look like, oh, yeah, I'm doing something about it. So welcome, everybody. Victor Avila, ex-retired ICE agent, to our live feed. Victor, thank you so much. Muchas gracias for being with us.
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you for having me. Gracias.
So this just came up, Victor. So let me have a little conversation before we start. So she says, I'm going to the border. She went to Guatemala with President Yamate. She went in there after inviting all of these people and incentivizing the cartel so they can start a massive child trafficking, and it's a massive child trafficking hunt, which has been occurring in the borders of the United States with Mexico. They incentivize this to happen. So she goes to Guatemala and she, so quote unquote, visits the border that she did not. And she says, do not come 3 times. Then she goes to Mexico, to the governmental palace with Obrador, and says, I'm going to visit the border, which she didn't go to Tapachula, where they have more than 15,000 people from Haiti over there waiting for political asylum, and thousands of people from all across the world. She didn't go there. Now she says, according right here, and let me put this article right here for you to also watch it with me. It says right here, according to the Daily Wire, breaking. Kamala Harris finally heading to the U.S.-Mexico border 3 months after being put in charge of the immigration crisis. And she goes not to McAllen, Texas, Victor, where you have been, where I'm just going to put this note right now, later on, this breaking also news that a mutilated body of an infant was found just recently, yesterday, I believe so, where, on Saturday, there was a bloody shed of the cartel, the organized crime, which you are so related to that area, and you can really specifically explain everything, how it goes on in Reynosa, which they killed 14 people just randomly. She doesn't go to that part. She goes to El Paso. What is your opinion on this, Victor?
Oh my goodness. Let me see where I can start here. I'll start off by saying this. If it was President Trump or if it was any other person doing it, it would always be criticized. And so I'll say this first. I'm glad she's going at least. We put the pressure on and we made her go. And that's a good thing. She wasn't going to go unless we made her go, and we're making her go. Now, the bad news is, yes, you're right. She's going to El Paso. El Paso has its own problems and issues with the cartels and illegal entry. I was just there with Anthony a few weeks ago. Saw five illegal aliens jump the Trump wall. Saw Border Patrol chasing them on horseback. Saw them following them with a helicopter at night. I saw illegal aliens running from Ciudad Juarez into El Paso. There is issues in El Paso. but you cannot compare, which is ground zero right now, is actually Del Rio, Texas, where I was just in Del Rio 2 weeks ago, and part of a border security coalition met and was briefed by Valverde County Sheriff Martinez, and attended a town hall with 150 citizens from Del Rio. Del Rio is a small town, less than 50,000 people, but in the last month have had over 100,000 people there. They're getting about 1,000 illegal aliens a day. And this is what I learned from there. This is why Kamala Harris will not go to Del Rio, will not go to McAllen, which is where the crisis is happening, where most of the illegal aliens are coming, is because in Del Rio, there are people from Venezuela, from Uganda, from El Congo, from Sierra Leone, from Peru, from Argentina, from Chile. You notice there, Oscar, I didn't mention any Central Americans or Mexicans. That's the real issue. It is incredible what's happening there. Taxi cabs picking up people, Border Patrol calling taxi cabs to go pick up illegal aliens at the border because they don't have enough personnel, and the taxi cab drivers taking them to the airport. And I videotaped Uganda, illegal aliens from Uganda boarding an American airline, the same airplane that I boarded to Dallas Fort Worth. But they got on without any passport, without any ID, without any documentation. And I saw this and I witnessed this and I questioned the TSA official. What did they show you? What did these individuals right in front of me, because he knew I was videotaping it, I want to see what ID did they show you for you to allow them to get on an airplane? As we all know what happened in 9/11, and we all have to go through the airport and take off our shoes and the liquids and all this stuff that we've been doing for so many years. Yet you come from Uganda and it doesn't apply to you. You could just get right on an airplane. I saw the same thing happen in McAllen. Hundreds of them that didn't even go through TSA. They came in through the back of the airport. These are national security issues. These are public safety issues, Oscar, that guess what? We're going to see and continue to see, because these individuals, not just in our border towns, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, but they're going everywhere in our country. And we know the crime surge that is happening right now in our country. Look at what happened in Chicago this weekend with the parade. Look at in Dallas, we had a record number of shootings. It is craziness what's happening, and the open borders policy is not going to help our crime. It's not going to help our healthcare system. It's not going to help our school systems. And by Kamala Harris going to El Paso, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a dog and pony show. She's only doing it because President Trump said he's going to go next week. And that's the only reason why she's doing it. She's not going to allow, this is one of those things, she would be too embarrassed not to do it. She's not going for the right reasons. She's going to say, everybody shut up, I went to the border. So shut up. And that's not the point. So anyway, yes.
This is a graphic that it was released by, there's two websites that I want to put to people before we get to a couple of things and a couple of subjects that I want to talk to you about. This is this actual graphics and the statistics. You can find them on the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, agency website. So this is how it has gone up, Victor. This is how ridiculous it is. And in McAllen, Texas, you got a humongous problem, and she does not go to the epicenter and the mecca right now of the main distribution of irregular entrances. So you got on the red line, it is how it was on 2020, and right now is how it is on 2021. That is almost surpassing 200,000 people, and as single adults, it's going up to on 2021 796,739. Also, you have the single minors that is 80,325 on 2021, and they're not counting the unaccompanied minors, which is more than 21,000. That it goes with the single minors and ultimately some other graphics. But also, you got the accompanied minors that is almost 1,500 people. You have, Victor. This is a question that I want to ask you. are we at a point that I can tell you that the organized crime has control also on the other side of the border of the United States?
Let me tell you, there are areas in our Texas border where the cartels in the U.S. side have a very heavy presence, and that is down in the Rio Grande Valley. Yes, absolutely. They are patrolling with AK-47s, AR-15s, Mexican cartel members in Texas. Absolutely, yes. If you think that's not happening, I'll show you some videos of them smuggling people. And here's the point, Oscar. The smuggling continues. The number of stash houses, human smuggling and stash houses for humans has skyrocketed around all our border. In Texas and Houston, all over the border, the stash houses has become an epidemic that we don't have enough of the agents to investigate. You've seen a lot of the chases; they have skyrocketed too. The turnovers, the rollovers with illegal aliens and vehicles getting killed trying to avoid Texas DPS troopers or Border Patrol. We have state police coming from Nebraska, from Florida, from other states to help us, yet the federal government won't help Texas, won't help Arizona, New Mexico, and California with this crisis. This is something that is no longer can be ignored by the Biden administration. This is their doing. And let me tell you, it could be undone right now. All you have to do, it's a very simple solution. They just do not want to do it.
So we're talking about, and we're talking about that this is a national security issue. This is for you. Is it to a point that is a extremely urgent national security issue right now? The way that things are.
Absolutely. National security issue with hands down and a public safety issue. Those two go hand in hand because, and I'll tell you right now, not everybody that comes over is going to commit crimes. Not everybody's going to come over. It's the ones that are. And there's a lot of those that are avoiding Border Patrol. They're not turning themselves in. They're getting smuggled by the cartels. The cartels are sending their people. The cartels are sending the methamphetamine and the drugs. That hasn't stopped. As a matter of fact, it's increased. Is it a national security issue? Absolutely. We're allowing people to get on airplanes without knowing who they are. You know who takes advantage of that?
Yeah.
Oscar? Special interest aliens that come from
Exactly.
Yemen, that come from Somalia, that come from Bangladesh, that come from these special interest countries. People don't think about that. And I used to interview, when I was in Mexico, I used to interview them in Mexico. This is 10 years ago. They've been in Mexico all this time, so they're taking advantage of the porous border and the lax border security that they want to come in. And we know those individuals hate America and are using Mexico as well as a springboard to get into the U.S.
Now, another question. You and me, we know how the situation is on the border. You are a courageous man that survived an attack by Los Zetas cartel. You know the border of Reynosa, Matamoros. You know it more than anybody right here. And when you hear a president of the United States of America that is saying the borders are controlled, when you're talking about borders, it means that you have the border of the United States with the border of Mexico, that you already have an agreement with the other government that has already been controlled. What happened on Saturday in Reynosa, Tamaulipas, when you're inviting thousands and thousands of unaccompanied minors to migrate through one of the places that are migrating right now that is humongous, that is Reynosa. And what happened on Saturday, which the cartel, it is basically a capricho, is basically a way to say, you know what, if the government is not going to let us do what the hell we want to do, I'm going to start shooting up people. This happened in the times of Los Zetas with the Zeta 40 and all those people. You remember this clearly, that this happened before. It's not the first time that it has happened. When you got these kind of situations like what happened on Saturday, that they shot 14 innocent people, the cartel, on the Mexican side of the border, what is your opinion on the president of the United States saying that the borders are controlled, Victor? It is just ridiculous that the people are still believing this kind of statements.
It is ridiculous that they believe it, and that the president and the Homeland Security Secretary saying that the border is closed. Let me tell you what the U.S. government should do. They should promote legal immigration. Look at all the people in Mexico that have a legal visa, a border crosser card to come over. They can't come over. We can't let the people that legally have a visa to come over and shop and visit their family and do all that. But if you come from Uganda, you could come right in. It's upside down and backwards. And the president continued to say that, and the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, saying that the border is closed and it's secure. They are out of their minds. And that's why Kamala Harris is going to El Paso and not going to McAllen and not going to Del Rio, because she knows that if she stands there, she's going to witness the people coming over. She's going to witness, and I'll tell you what, I don't think she's going to stand by the wall in El Paso. There's a wall, a big wall in El Paso. I don't think she's going to stand by there because they don't want to promote the wall. But I'll say something really quick about the Mexican side. The cartels there are out of control. You know that, Oscar. We know that. But it is a imminent national security threat to the United States. The cartels do not stop on the line. They do not stop in the river. They continue on to every single part of the United States, and they have major presence there. And I'll tell you, yes, they're going back to doing what they've done before, killing innocent people. I investigated a case when I was in Mexico. You remember? I know you remember this case of the 72 migrants they executed down by the other side of Brownsville, Matamoros.
Mm-hmm.
And they wiped out 300 plus people in a town. They're killing taxi cab drivers, students. These people have nothing to do with crime. I was talking to you a little bit earlier about a shootout that just happened this morning or yesterday. Again, there. This is the president. AMLO also has no idea what he's doing. Incompetent, doesn't want to address the issue. Obviously, the hugs versus bullets is not that's not a good policy. We know that, and he's not going to do anything about it. He hasn't. He's going on his 2.5 years.
Let me ask you a question. One of the last questions that I want to ask you before I let you go, because I know that you got to do a lot of stuff today. Is it time for the government of the United States of America to follow what Donald Trump was going to do, that designate these organizations that they are quite, dominant right now, not only on our country of Mexico, but they're dominating right now the border of the United States of America? Is it time for the government of the United States to designate them as terrorists?
Absolutely, and it's way overdue. They must be designated as foreign terrorist organizations. I talk about it in my book. I talk about the wall. I talk about sanctuary cities. Later on today, I can't talk a lot about it, but I'm going to be doing a very serious briefing on some elected officials later today. That's what I was preparing to do. And I'm going to be talking about all this. But I'm very concentrated right now of what the state of Texas can do, because the federal government's not doing it. Biden and them, they don't want to do anything about it. So the governor's trying to do something about it. Other elected officials are trying to. We're trying to come up with solutions of what the state of Texas and what laws, as a sovereign state that Texas is, to protect not just the state of Texas, but you know what? They're coming in through here everywhere else. And what's happening, Oscar, is that every town, every state is going to become a border state, because you're going to feel the impact of all of the crisis that's happening.
Basically, what a journalist from Colombia was explaining, it is a colonization of the borders. So the borders will not be existent anymore. So you won't have an identity of a country. That's right. Basically that. So I want to thank you, Victor, for this short briefing that you came over here on this video. Before I go, follow Victor Avila, please. He has a book. He has a phenomenal book, Agent Under Fire. Victor, can you just give your social media and people where to follow you and all?
Thank you. You could go to agentunderfirebook.com. You can find me on Facebook at Victor Avila or Instagram at Victor Avila Jr.
Thank you so much, Victor. And God bless your heart. And, we'll talk to you soon.
God bless you, Oscar. Thank you.
There you have it, people. Who else can explain it to you better than, a retired, decorated ICE agent of what is really happening, at the borders? And ultimately, not only that, it's not only that is for him. It's an ex-retired ICE agent for him to tell you on the other side of the border, that is the U.S. border. Possibly, we're going to have my partner Anthony today. He was really tired yesterday. He drove probably 8 hours, so he got really tired to his house. But he's on the other side is really good to have communication with people on the other side of the United States, like this retired agent Victor Avila, that he can practically explain to you what are you doing going to El Paso right now. El Paso has a huge unaccompanied minor situation. Yes, it has, but the real situation it is now at Del Rio, Texas. It is awful what is going on over there, and and they're not doing anything about it. So it's important and it's imperative for the audience to start pressuring, man, the United States government like it needs to be pressured. And this statistic that I'm about to show, it is a ridiculous statistic, for God's sake. Really, for God's sake, come on. Is it really 796,739? Wow, man. Is it really that? 796,000 that they have entered on 2021. Almost 1 million people, and we are only 6 months. 6 months. We're only 6 months apart right now. 6 months. 6 months. Isn't it unbelievable this? 6 months, and we have, this gigantic. The United States has this gigantic problem. And I was just saying, is it a problem of national security? Of course it is. If you don't have national security, how are you going to provide national security for more people? How are you going to do that? You are not. The country is going to fall. That is an absolute colonization of a border. You don't have no identity. You don't have no border. You don't have no law. You don't have no constitution. You don't have nothing. So if you don't have nothing of that, you are non-existent. That's practically it. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining in. God bless everybody that is watching. Thank you for joining in. God bless everybody that is watching. I had a special guest for a few minutes, Victor Avila, an ex-retired ICE agent, on our show, on our platform. Buy Me a Coffee is on top of the link. If you guys like to contribute to our independent reporting, Buy Me a Coffee is on top of the link. And also, we're live on Facebook and YouTube, and you got my PayPal on the description box. So I wanted to drop this that happened, man. This is absolutely horrible, and we were just talking about it right now. This article was released by Del Rio and Eagle Pass News Leader. An infant mutilated body was found in the Rio Grande near Piedras Negras, Coahuila. An infant mutilated body. Now, facts and also not speculations, because you're a conspiracy theorist, Oscar. That is so QAnon-y. They don't know if the migrant child they don't know if the child, it was a migrant child. They don't know what was the actual condition of, where is this kid coming from? If it was a migrant child or not, a migrant kid or not. But just the fact of the matter is that people need to understand how insecure the borders are. That is the number one purpose. Ultimately, the investigation, it is going to be done if the child was a migrant child. But this article was released by the Leader, and look what it says. It says, infant mutilated body. It was released 3 hours ago. Infant mutilated body found in the Rio Grande near Piedras Negras. And it says, Piedras Negras, Mexico, early Wednesday morning, a pair of residents discovered the mutilated body of a baby. Floating on the banks of the Rio Grande across the border from Eagle Pass, Texas. The discovery was allegedly made by a man named Oscar, exactly my name, who immediately reported the incident to the proper authorities of the neighboring city, Piedras Negras, Mexico. According to sources, the body belongs to a baby just a few months old who is missing arms, head, and other parts of the body. Authorities believe the incident may be related to recently witnessed crocodiles roaming the river. The body will be transported to a forensic doctor who will perform an autopsy. So this is not the first time that, that crocodiles have been rounding the river. Back in 2019, I believe, it was a huge thing. They even recorded when Border Patrol was telling the migrants, do not come right now on the water raft. Do not come. And the water raft coyote, or the trafficker, was insisting on bringing the water raft. But the Border Patrol agent was saying, there's a crocodile right there. And they were pointing into a crocodile in the middle of the river. And when they saw the crocodile in the middle of the river, they were like, oh, thank you, Mr. Border Patrol. We will stop for now. As soon as the crocodile goes, we will continue with our smuggling. Ha ha ha, teamwork. So that started. Are these rivers safe for people to migrate? No, they are not. It is exactly as the Suchiate River. The Suchiate River that is connected, the river that is connected from Guatemala to Tapachula. It is almost exactly the same. It is a jungle river. You have a lot of creatures underneath the water. And the water is not clean, for you guys to understand. So they're potentially putting it on possible crocodiles that they have been rounding around the river. Ultimately, also, it can be related to the organized crime, the cartel organized crime. They don't know yet. The investigation is being done, but there's options of ideas of what might have happened with this kind of situation. This is horrible, people. This is completely horrible. This is horrific. I don't know how much or how long of a time is going to take people to understand that, that go into like what Kamala Harris is doing right now. Go into El Paso, Texas. For God's sake, really, you want to go to El Paso when you have a humongous situation right now in Del Rio right there? When you have a situation, man, my God, my partner was showing some video of people just getting off on the bottom of the train. This is unbelievable. Everything that is happening, it is just unfreaking believable, people. It is just incredible. And you have a vice president who is going to El Paso. That is okay. Go to El Paso. You know what? Yeah. But why don't you go to the place where this is actually happening? Why don't you want to witness that? And it is just like Victor was saying, it is a clown show, because now that you got Donald Trump that wants to go to the border, and it's with this, it is basically pressuring the people that they want to go to the border, pressuring the government of the United States. If Donald Trump makes a presence at the border, it is a complete humiliation to the Democratic Party and to the Biden administration. It is a complete humiliation for them. How in the hell an ex-president is going to the border and we have not? Let's go to El Paso, Kamala. No, but the problem is in Rio Grande, Mr. President. No, you go to El Paso. It's just unbelievable, man. And it is remarkable that people believe that a wall is not needed. The protection of a wall, it is not needed. That the wall has never been there. That a wall is divisive. That the wall is for division. That the wall is full of hate. That the wall, it was made to divide people into just, oh my God, the wall is horrible. The wall is horrible. The wall is division. The wall is so racist. The wall is this. The wall is that. Look at this video. This video is from December 12, 1990. It was 31 years ago. 31 years ago. 31 years ago. Who was president back in 1990? If somebody can tell me who was the president back in 1990 right here. I think it was Clinton. Was it Clinton or was it Reagan? I believe that it was Clinton back in 1990. This video was shot December 12th, 1990. A ball, this video goes for all you leftists that they're saying, oh my God, a wall is full of hate. A wall is division. A wall is horrible. A wall is just, let's not have a wall. This video absolutely gives you evidence that the wall has always been there. This is downtown in our city of Tijuana. Look at that. What is that? It is a horrible wall. It is a horrible piece of metal wall, whatever it is. And I remember this kind of parts. This is where now you have a 25 to 30-foot wall. But this was the wall back in the day with George W. Bush president, 1990. Thank you so much. George Bush Sr. was the president back in 1990. This is the wall back in 1990. There's always been a wall, you leftists, cornflakes, pancakes, snowflakes. There's always been a wall. My God, the wall is full of hate. It is time to bury down walls. There's always been a wall. I didn't see the protest back in when this president was, when Clinton built a much better, wall than this. I didn't see no protest when Barack Obama was president. Look at this. Look at this small clip, because I'm just going to play a small clip. This is the International Avenue where I have driven so many times before. And there's the canal right there, the division of the canal right there. And that is where, basically, that's the Border Patrol right there. On the top, you will see the Border Patrol. It's 9:46 a.m. on that video. And it says right there. Let me pause right there when it says, okay. It says, danger. Think of your family. Government of the state. Think of your family. Why you're saying think of your family? Simple, just, before you endure on this horrible journey, just please think of your family. There's always been a wall. Now, certain kind of walls, these are really, ridiculous, as I'm going to play again the video for everybody to watch. What kind of protection of a country is this? Wow. And I have shown multiple times the difference between this wall, that is the George Bush wall, between, this wall and now the wall that exists right now. And you have an enormous problem right now with irregular substances coming in as a massive scale into the United States of America. Also child trafficking, also enormous child smuggling, human smuggling, women trade that is horrible. So all of this is important for you guys to understand. Really important for you guys to understand how important it is for to know since when the border wall has been existing. But you got these cornflakes people, man. These people that they're always complaining about. Oh my God, this is so racist. This is such a narcissist. Oscar Blue is such a narcissist. He's such a racist. He's such a xenophobic. And it is not about that. And I wanted to put something right now on the screen for you guys that is extremely important that we talked about. Also, if you guys want to see where you can find these graphics, there is a link where you can go, and it is United States Customs and Border Protection. Let me just put right here the place that you can go, and also check these graphics and educate yourself on what is happening right now. And it's right here, Nationwide Encounters. It is called United States Customs and Border Protection right here. So you can find all the things that you need right here. Statistics, stats, and all this kind of stuff. So you have like advisories, media releases, photo gallery, publications, social media directory, spotlights, speeches, on a typical day, assaults on use of force statistics. Also, you have the demographics on unaccompanied minors, individuals in a family unit. That is FMU. Okay, now I get it. Individuals on a family unit. That is FMUA. Single adults, unaccompanied children with single minors. You have that. and you have, the statistic that we just shown you right here, that is right here in the bottom. So you have all of this, about CBP, newsroom, travel. So if you guys want to go and research and do your own fact check me and all that kind of stuff, there's places right here where you can go and look at this kind of information. So you can actually find it and not, depend on, on other sources or other things that are extremely important for you guys to just to take care of, because it is really important for everybody to know. These kind of the statistics will open your eyes, and it's just my God, man, when is it? Holy cow! You're going to visit El Paso. That's okay. I know that it's a border that has been affected. My God, I'm not even going to talk about how bad it is in El Paso. And El Paso and Juarez is really bad. It is the second border that is most violent and delinquent in the world in terms to cartel activity. But right now, the problem of infrastructure and entrance in irregular entrances, it is in Del Rio. It is in Del Rio. In the morning, I did a live feed and it got cut off. Changing a little bit the topic. And I did another live feed in Instagram and it got cut off. And I wanted to tell you something before I go, before I end. How's everybody doing? God bless everybody that is watching. Thank you so much for joining. Buy me a coffee is on top of the link if you guys like to contribute to our independent reporting. Thank you so much. So I wanted to tell you guys, don't let this globalist evil agenda make you believe that God does not exist. Don't let them, man. Do not let them take away one of the things that is really important for us, that is faith. They're trying to take away that from you, creating and implementing science in your mind so you will believe in science and things that they are now towards science. But ultimately, their goal is for you to be a human that is disbalanced and to completely interfere with your faith and beliefs in God. Remember that everything that is happening right now, it is biblical. Everything that is happening right now. And I'm not an attached Christian, or I just believe in God. That's the only thing that I can tell you. But don't let these people take away your peace and faith. I will put these kind of screenshots on the live feed so I can read a little bit, and I'm not preaching. I'm just reading the book that has been more read in the world, that is the Bible. And also how the Bible and the Torah that is, the Jewish book, they speak about this kind of stuff. Let me read it real quick. How your body is a temple and it is borrowed. It is not yours. Corinthians 6:19-20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You're not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. Matthew 9:12. But when he heard it, he said, those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. Mark 5:26. And who had suffered much under many physicians, had spent all she had, and was no better, but rather grew worse. But Peter, Acts 5:29. But Peter and the apostles answered, we must obey God rather than men. Corinthians 3:17. If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him. For God's temple is holy, and you are that temple. Psalm 118:8. It's better to take refuge in the Lord than trust in men. Psalm 41:3. The Lord sustains him on his sick bed. In his illness, you restore him to full health. Romans 13:10. Love does no wrong to our neighbor. Therefore, love in the fulfilling of the law. Timothy 5:8. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for a member of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Exodus 23:25. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from among you. Corinthians 6:19. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own. James 1:5. If any one of you lacks of wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all within reproach, and it will be given to him. Jeremiah 17:14. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for you are my praise. Isaiah 2:22. Stop regarding men in whose nostrils is breath, for of what account is he? Leviticus 17:11. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you or the altar to make an atonement for your souls. Timothy 5:23. No longer drink only water, but use as little wine for the sake of your stomach and your frequent aliments. James 2:8. If you rely fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, you should love your neighbor and love yourself. Corinthians 4:2. Made over, it is required stewards that they be found trustworthy. Another one, Revelation 1:1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants the things that must soon take place. He made it known by sending his angel to servant John. These are all scriptures from the Bible. They're trying to take away your belief in God. Trying to take away the number one thing that we have, that is faith. Look at this that it says right here on the Shabbat.org for Jewish people. This is for Jewish people or the people that read the Torah. Look what it says right here. The halachic mandate to take precautions. Guarding your own health doesn't only make sense. It's actually a mitzvah. That means that even if you don't want to do it, for whatever reason, you're still obligated to do so. The Torah is teaching us that our body is a gift from God, and we were therefore not the owners of it, and we can't cause in it any damage. It is not enough to deal with health issues as they arise. We must take precautions to avoid danger. The final chapter of the Code of Jewish Law emphasizes that just as there is a positive commandment to build a guardrail around the perimeter of a rooftop, lest someone fall, so too are we obligated to guard ourselves from anything that we will endanger our lives, as these verses states. Why am I reading this to you guys? I'm reading it to you guys because right now we live in a time where there's a lot of evil in around us, around the atmosphere, around the energy. There's a lot of evil, a lot of it. And you got politicians, leaders, and dictators of the world that they are saying that this is okay. That this is going, they make it look like it's so easy. Nothing is happening. So the enormous child trafficking that is occurring at the border, nothing is going on with that. The human smuggling that is occurring at every border, nothing is going on with that. The cartels that they're taking over countries and polluting countries with drug trafficking, gun trafficking, and, child smuggling, child trafficking, and killings and assassinations of people, nothing is wrong with that. They're trying to make us think and normalize these kind of evil situations in our lives. to take away the number one thing that we have that is ours, that is our fate. They're making us believe that life is science, that we are an experiment in this world. So they're trying to digress, and they're trying to take away that we are God's creation and that we are only an experiment. And they can do whatever the hell that they want. Bring plagues, bring diseases, brings all this kind of stuff and do experiment with us. So we will believe that we are not God's creation. We are only a body that it can be disbalanced in whatever belief and faith. They're trying to take it away from us little by little. I'm just going to leave this with this last example. Do you guys remember the movie Passion of the Christ? I just said it right now on my live feed on Instagram. Passion of the Christ has one scene that it was really powerful for me. It is, for me, the most important scene of that movie. I love that movie, but it's the most important scene for me. It is when Jesus Christ is kneeling down and he's praying. And he's praying and he's hurting, and something is hurting him, is punishing him to a point that he's trembling and he's sweating and he's crying and he's begging his Father, God, he's begging God for him to come and save him and to do something about it. And in the midst of the breeze, you will see somebody coming, and that is the devil. And it was Satan right there in that scene. As he's standing right there in front of God, and he stands in front of him and he laughs. As Jesus was laying down on his knee, and he's suffering in pain. Little by little, it's eating him up, suffering in pain. And Satan stands there and he says, and he's laughing, and he's like, you think you're going to save humanity? You're going to save the world? Man, you're nothing, man. So he beats him up. And Jesus falls into his knees, and then he falls into his face. And he's laying down on his face, and, Satan is beating him up, man. He's beating him up like you don't even imagine. And he releases a snake underneath his clothing. And the snake goes little by little to where Jesus is going. Do you see how Jesus was laying down on the floor, beaten up in front of the most evil and demonic person that exists in this world, that is Satan? And what he do? He got up. He got up and he crumbled that snake. He stepped over that snake. Why he did that? That is the question. That scene is so powerful because it has a message. He got up because of faith. Because he believed in what he was praying. Because he believed in God. Because he believed in the Creator. Because he believed that he can be saved immediately like this if he prayed. If he continued with God's commandments and God's life. If he continued having faith in God, he got up immediately. And he looked at him and he's like, not today, man. Not today, Satan. Not today. Go get a sandwich, man. I'll be right here chilling with a Slurpee. Not today, Satan. It's not going to happen today. That is what I just shown you. All these evil and demonic globalists, they are crushing us down right now. They're beating us up. They're beating us up like you don't even imagine. Open borders, the globalist compact of the immigration, the globalist compact of the environment, the globalist compact of education. My God, this globalization, cartel, child smuggling, unaccompanied minors, the division between race inside of the United States of America, and incompetent presidents and incompetent leaders around the world. What is happening in Venezuela? People are suffering because of communism, socialism, Russia, making nuclear weapons, North Korea also preparing for a war. My God. God, everything, the world is crumbling. What the hell is going on? They're crushing us down. They're crushing humanity as to say the earth is more important than humanity. Like humanity is nothing, that we are an instrument, that we are something that is right here, that it was put, and we are an obstacle for the world. No, we are God's creation. Don't let them take away your faith. Do not let them take away that. If you let them take away your faith, you're an empty soul walking on this planet. Do not let them disbalance your faith, disbalance who you are. You're going to believe 60% on this and 40% on that. Oh, I believe in 60, but no. Do not let them take away what is yours, what it was given to you when you were born. That is your freedom, is a God-given right. And when you die, it is a God-given right. Do not let them take that away from you. If you let them take that away from you, remember that scene between Satan and Jesus. You're not going to be able to get up. And that snake is going to bite you in the neck. Do not let that snake get close to you. Get up. Have faith. Do not let these godless people take away our freedom. Fight. Every day, let's pray. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for all this unaccompanied minors to be saved. Child trafficking to be stopped. Let's push. Let's get involved in our communities. Let's get involved in the school boards. Let's get involved in our societies. Let's get involved right now in everything and writing letters and try to do the best that we can, so we can be a part of this gigantic energy of faith that is the belief in God. If everybody would unite with this energy, humongous of faith in God, evil will not win. And we will get up like Jesus did. We will look at Satan in his eyes and it's like, not today, Satan. It's not happening. Faith is more important than whatever obstacle you will put in front of me. God bless everybody that is watching. Thank you so much for joining on this live feed. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. You can follow him at every platform that exists in this planet. Also, Buy Me a Coffee is on top of the link if you guys like to contribute to my independent reporting. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Also, follow Ben Berquam at Real America's Voice News. And also, you can download the app at Roku.com. Also, special moment, pray for Ben Berquam's family as they had an accident on the road. And pray for his wife, which she is entering surgery. I love you, brother. If you're listening, so we're praying for you. Everybody's praying for you. Also, follow Will Johnson and Unite America First and his platform. Let's talk about it. Also, Miss Sarah Carter on Miss Sarah Carter Show. Possibly later on this afternoon, Anthony and myself, we will do a live feed to talk about his experience in the border, as he went over there and saw horrible events that had happened on the border. God bless you all. Follow me on Telegram, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. Stay safe. And also follow me at Buy Me a Coffee. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love, everybody. Because always your country's first. God bless.
Y ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and Good thing, Sarah, this canyon right here.
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
couple of questions. So. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening?
Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the best, basically fight for your country.
Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.